This is where you find people in a bus that is supposed to pick 20 people and they have 100 people in there, and they're on the road. People are hanging by the road in windows, at the back of the vehicle,
in the buckets
on top of it, and
vehicles.
Yet they will pass through every checkpoint. I'm just hoping this and the police will say no, we will not allow this.
Right, because as regards law enforcement, I think that we can talk on and on and on about it. If you've spoken to people who have lived, outside the country, who have lived abroad, in Western countries, and have had to relocate back here, their first few months of driving experience is just a shock. There's so much road rage in them, screaming at drivers for just not, exercising caution on the road. But after a few months, they adjust and actually become as terrible as those drivers they complained about hitherto. Why? Because no one enforces the law. You can easily get your way out, even if you're stopped by a policeman for jumping, a red light, etc., etc. So I think that there will always be miscreants in society. There will always be people who put up deviant behavior. But that's why there's the law. The law is not for citizens who lead exemplary lives. Right. No, it's for those who flouted with impunity. And so let's crack the whip. I think that's just the way to go.
Mona, I'm wondering where the police sold an idea some time ago about spot fines. A lot of issues were raised about it, how well it was going to be implemented. And so the police were called back and said that, okay, we're going to look at it again and come back. I think it's been over a year now, but I think it will go a long way to stop this practice of drivers and pedestrians misbehaving on the road.
I recall there was also an initiative the National Road Safety Commission wanted to take on cameras, by street lights, where they could spot.
There are some cameras across, but
as to whether they do
the one along the road in front of the Flagstaff House stretching to the Independence Avenue has cameras. But as to whether indeed they are functioning, we cannot tell. The police said they are working. But you see, the spot fine would work. It would work if we're able to get it right, so that whatever money is paid will go directly into
if it will go direct, that's where I have shadows. If it will go directly to the right coffers.
That is one of the reasons why eventually the police had to go back and take another look at it. But it's a great idea. I think we should bring it back. Commercial drivers simply refusing to do the right thing. There's a road, a 3-lane road in front of Obechebelamte Circle leading to Kaneshi. Now, the right lane is supposed to be used for those who are using that side to go back to Awudome.
Yes.
Now, when the 2 lanes on the left are full and packed, commercial drivers
use that third lane. I know, and block you at the roundabout. At the circle. Yes, I use it. I know.
And yet, no one seemed to talk or stop them.
It's incredible.
Okay, so I think that if the spot fine is properly implemented, we'll go a long way to stop some of these things. But how effective can sanctions be? What is the fine for jumping through the red light,
or not using your buckle, not using your seat belt? Look, I have an experience in those those days when I used to. Thank God my taxi days are over. Glory to God. But I recall years ago when I was in a taxi, and then the taxi driver, he hadn't buckled up. He didn't have his seatbelt strapped on. But as we went on, a journey, he saw a policeman. He spotted a policeman, so he quickly buckled up. And then when we crossed the policeman, he took it off again. So I said, "Ah, driver, so see, I wash your belts. What say you also? He thinks seatbelts are for long distance
because Ajay's already choked. It could in a long way stop them from doing this. Not only commercial drivers, but not only private drivers. And for our Muslim brothers, tomorrow we'll have to plead once again. It becomes a yearly ritual where the chief imam will have to plead that, please, young Muslims, don't sit on top of vehicles, don't hang on them,
and on
motorbikes and run around. Okay, it is dangerous, it is unsafe, it is an offense, and yet every year it is done.
Yes, even before celebrations like that. You know how it is when they're going to bury someone, and how they speed on the roads with the sometimes
on weekends.
Yes, sometimes it's very scary.
Okay, TV3 I think 2 years ago had a footage of a car running into a group of people who were watching the celebration of the Eid. Okay,
Oh.
these were. I think people were standing by along the road and were watching the display of motorbikes, and then a car just ran into them. Okay, so I think that for our Muslim brothers tomorrow, we plead that they should ensure that whatever celebration will come off tomorrow is done in a peaceful way, in a civil way. Shouldn't
end in, in injury and death.
Yes,
shouldn't end in
result in injury or death, because at the end of the day, we lose people, we lose money, and it affects the very economy we're trying to push up.
All right, okay. So now we'll be back to Rufu in chat room.
Almost 400 people were killed in road accidents in the first quarter of 2015. It seems the fight against road accidents is a fruitless journey, as most road safety regulations are disobeyed. So how effective is adherence to road safety regulations? And can we come to a time where accidents can reduce drastically in the country? This is Daily Want. Let's keep talking.
Sometimes, regulations are not brofu. We bring so anti regulation as it. And so also, who say regulations no more can. And church also the man for. So and young regulations will go as a biblical school. And so Ghana had a school na yakon. Nimdiana na sonda ya wufum. Obi wa wa school we. And so you are trying to go akra na you are trying regulation but on tiase. The question of pastor no to me ekon man so to me accident me san ba kono on to me nye.
And they say as Ghana have road science now is quite on bebre na yedwuma. They say maybe obedu o say bibi enso. That no be senior we say. Okay. I had to say no parking and I said say and I say. And I bit say food bridge na mo faso no. Obi wa honim say food bridge no ho pass on day on faso. Oba fast here. But no say me nti access into sa no. Se car na etwem no. Wo fast na car no boa. Nimpa no wa fom kwan na na wa fom mla no. Ana so mfom mla no.
Me ne oyadwe because ne anti American say me ne oyadwe say ye nia na san boys na ye woso no. Ana you for woso no. Ye pe bibia shortcut. And instead of obeko kofa hono no. Ope shortcut nti. Ope so jump road no by force. No nkro. O jump no so ne refi ne hu say ye fast enko. Sa fast no so be no. The opposite of the road no so no. Ono so saka time no. Kana be. The fastness in the disaster so no beba.
Anya youth no nko a sabe za wo hwa mo twa kwan ni mu a enkwakwarafo no mirofo ina twem. Enza wo ka say youth na omo shortcut. Anya youth omo gbota ya omo akọ school woni medie nyina. Omo wo sa foot bridge no wo ho so omo kwafa so. Obi otumi na nte kwate ni fie be 20 meters. Ana obedu bia foot bridge no no obedu kwa ho. Anto betumi efuni fie be gyina kwa ho across kwa wa bro betumi na nta kwa bia foot bridge no. Ente mfonso no efinya ye twa kwan ni mu. And empo even obia no so onnim say foot bridge ewo ho no ye na ye mfumso no bi
Who say accident bebrebe wo ye nyan ke betumi avoid it
e betumi avoid it because ne hanso be show huye manyesi na so anya atin say no be jai because if ya say driver say ni say me nom nsan na say man nom nsan na me drive ya me ye carefree say den metumi ahwe me huye fine e bia me bo madu light asore kwa metumi atwam because of the woman using intino intini se ni nyina no se embra no emutumi ye den se fine police hu one no mensa no wetumi chill e ma ho kire wa next time
I say no mu you ana
oh and the ne answer nipa no na kasa ne police no on say am akwa to say we are friends to police intino o ne kasa ya obetuma ama
o ne kasa ye sen
o woman bibi obetuma ja wa ban se ne o me ye nyina na e wuru
eye eganafo no yesuro court asem na ye nimra because say nimpa no say what the court a okotris kakase and the because of budget by 100 cedis and 50 cedis and 20 cedis na we jana say onkwa or say person ko channel from so waye amana sam na the want to me the anya sam from so but ono so no be kwaje kom say wo kan say memfa won ono no person be dike bi say memfa won ko and say o person ko court and those one person ko court no go so na me nya na say ono so be ka tro so and wa kasa pa be kire me sa sam na o kan yes sam bi no ka so person meniska bi modu no nyao
omo talo kwan wo overhead na se yono nukwanya me me ha adwen pa won say foot bridge wo pa nso wo say see ho na obedem obe
oh short obe man quite short
massa big mistake e ho ka ball free highway so kokota mbe charge no kele driving asan ase ho no mo de for road emboa na se me ya bo o twem ase o pe nse se amikita nso
na won se musu bi won so a limit ten se mo ko speed mo to we bia mo to mo pa won
massa a highway highway into 2 car say so green now 2 car we be call out code overhead na so no be say 80 onu so ase ho no be twem abrade wo ho how many minutes and seconds would be through ade yasi form for your own safety
ye ne kwan fio ye fa ne seat belt drivers are here
Obo seat belt.
Man boss seat belt na masa ase bibia yere o me ho me. Mimi nya tena se ya neti na obisa se o me.
E bia wo de o ye be others no ye.
Others no mo nya because me hu say omo ntwi omo aso da. Me dey atwe maso 2 times our seat belt mu. Nti bisua kese ma me pa. Me nya tena se ya neti me twi.
Emra na wo seat belt mu no emu nya den because it would drive wo police one ka hwe wono one bo seat belt na emu wo ho. Baby a we bi mu wo a obetuma ahu akamba seat belt in there. Emumra no nya den.
The best thing is e was say road safety for omo nkyere fence omo ye advertising on TV so ni omo twa kwan mu ni seat belt we ade e was say road safety for ye hu the bond for very long time because man say Ghana ha no say omo anka ye ntie yes so e was say di adwen ye no ye nye
nti mo hwe benya time bi betima ka say ke this year accident ba ko quincy
Hey, da. We say ya kwan no. Any the way I drive for the driving on. Any road signs no. I walk kwan so no. And you fine. Intain ya adwuma.
E betimi say we road safety for on betimi the security camera bi aba. Sa moto ewu nam so e wase waka no kosi 100. O kosi 100 camera no betwa wo.
Asem ba ko. I have sometimes one can drive seat belt. Obia me na no so a trotro driver. Adequate driver. Taxi driver. Other private cars no almost then also almost here. Obi tika mo only sense we security and fan on seat belt. Ba was friend say trotro driver one seat belt. Odu I bet no. Ba was scanning no one seat belt. Odu one dey there. Yeah nchi no. Also akwa driving school. Obi at the mate best 10 years. In the same panel I work driving school 1 month. No obi at the mate 10 years no. And I say 2 years no. For
the public here, accidents will be recurrent if certain human practices are not checked. Remember, you can be part of this discussion. Just log on to our social media pages. On Facebook, it's New Day on TV3, and on Twitter, it's New Day TV3, and also hashtag TV3 New Day. We came to you from Nyamicha here in Accra, and this, of course, has been Daily Rant.